Hello. Let's see if this is working. Let's see if this is working. It's always a question. Is it working? I think it is. I think it is. I think it is. And right then. So, let's take off this. Hello, I have new software. As if you couldn't guess from the random checks. But no, I've been chatting with my friend Garius, the Brit, who is largely behind me choosing Twitch to sort of set up a second channel and do it at this, because between him and Rakinafel, I would consider them my two mentors for all things streaming and all things working like this. And basically he said, look, XSplit does what you want for YouTube, but try OBS for Twitch, and so that is what I am trying. I am trying OBS, so hopefully this works, and hopefully people are there, and it's all good. And hopefully it's live. We will hope. We will hope. It says it's live. It's telling me it's live. But I'm gonna check. Yes, I'm live. I can see myself. That is good. So we are back with Empire Total War, and in good news, we're going to be trying to take Quebec. Sorry, Canada, but it's Empire Total War. I like Quebec. But also, I have managed to find out that with OBS, another game also works. So with XSplit, Empire Total War was pretty much the option, as the other Total War options didn't really work with it. However, with OBS, Medieval Total War works, and more importantly, Rome Total War, the original, works. So, yeah. After we're through this, expect to get some really, really classic ones. Hello, Lions. How are you doing? Hello. And also, please note for the chat, I was told afterwards, and I thought it didn't realise it was on, that there was some sort of limiter going on that limited chat in some way, and only allowed people with certain criteria. So I've tried to make it as free and open for the chat as possible this week. I apologise for last week, I didn't realise. How you doing? Now, Quebec. Damn, you've used all your time, haven't you? Now, you've given me good notice of them. Let's go see. There are American troops coming. None of them I'm really worried about, because I've got that. They are a threat to that position. They're not really a threat to that position, and no, they're not a threat to that one, because they'd have to actually get there. These guys would be a threat to that position, but not too worried about these guys. Honestly, yeah, they seem to be relying on militia forces, and I've got professional troops. I just said something. Lions, first time chat. Well, hello. Let's see, what's it doing? Oh, good lord. Hey! I've got the fishing building constructed, and workers on the strike in Upper Canada. I will never understand how Upper Canada became this area and Lower Canada was this area, when if you look at this... Yeah. But the reality is, it was higher up the river. And that's all they were really worrying about. Ooh, I don't think this is a well-defended fort. Ashel. Can you hear the sound? Is one of the questions I'm going to ask. Because I do realise there were issues last week with it. And I'm trying to make sure it works this week. Ah, that's good, Lions. And you're not doing too badly. So, I think we're going to put the artillery over here. I'm going to put you into a group. And that's going to... My plan is to basically use the artillery firing through the forest to really pummel this bit and hopefully keep them distracted while some infantry from over here basically take them from behind. We'll see if it works. In my head it works. Blue Jackets. Hessians. Yep. They're all nicely hidden there. And these gentlemen are going to be hidden here. And the grenadiers here. And have my cavalry form up either side of my general. Hopefully it's sensible. Let's see what we can do. Oh goody, they have grouped together like I hoped they would. So I want you guys to go to about here. I'm not sure why they keep bringing their cavalry out on the line here, but that's just rather attractive. Let's see. Can we take the entire back without them realizing it? I think you guys had best go into here, and you to here, and you up to about here, in case I need to secure my artillery. I don't think I'm going to need to. Don't think they're moving anything to deal with the troops coming from the rear. Nope. No one's moving at all to deal with the troops coming from the rear. They're focusing entirely on the troops at the front. Which I can understand why. It's going to cause problems for me. But, I could well use my Rangers to take the gates very quickly from them, and they could be about to be in serious trouble. Yep. Guys, please stop firing the position I've just taken. I forgot you're still firing at will. I appear to have lost less troops than I thought I was going to lose over here. Which either says something about the quality of the troops I was fighting, or they had issues. Seriously? Hello, Jacob. My ankles. Well, let's put it this way. On the subject of the ankles, because of how I managed to injure myself the second time, I've had both very, very nice donuts dropped off from Creams, which I'm slowly eating as they're terrible for my diet, which I was supposed to be on, and chocolate crisps. So despite me thinking the way I injured myself was pretty darn stupid and pointless, apparently it has netted me net rewards from the family. That was not a heroic victory. That was a victory. I lost 231 troops. Oh, hello. There's a French naval base up here. It's a trading port. And the ships in here are all trading ships. Well, run up. I don't fancy there being people in there. I appear to have just taken Quebec! Woohoo! Now, my next target, because I'm not out here to destroy the Americans at all, is actually I would like to take Newfoundland. Because if you take Newfoundland in this game, and here's a little trick, you'll notice it's right next to one of these. And if you send a fleet into one of these in this game, it's brilliant. They can go to any one of the other ones of those on any other map. So if you've got something right close there, you can use that as a trading port, and you can build your trading ships and just send them straight out. And there's no chance of them being intercepted on the way until they get to where they're going. So it's a really good location to have to basically just keep spamming out trading ships to earn money. And I only then have this place to get hold of, Montargis, and then I control all the fur trade, which allows me to have a nice little economic boost. It really does help when you can have these economic boosts. But, yeah, Quebec is now mine. And, well, the 13 colonies my protectorate still holds on to Philadelphia. Which means the US still haven't got hold of an admiralty, although, frankly, I do not expect this garrison to last long if the Americans do anything like they can do. The 13 colonies are still holding on to Boston somehow. Mainly, it seems the Americans have taken stuff off the French, which I'm not opposed to them doing, but you know. Jacob, trading port on the edge of the wormhole seems like a good plan. Yes, yes, it is. It works quite well as a rule. It really does work out quite well. It how do I put this politely? It's an easy way to win. Now, if anyone wonders what I'm doing, I've just found I've got a whole load of from the Creams donut. There were 4 in the pack, and I've already had one. The trouble is, it comes with this lovely icing which gets everywhere, including apparently in my arm hair. So I've just plucked it off. It's the problem of eating sticky, gooey food. It goes everywhere. Oh, I don't know. Those hairless individuals never know the pure terror of, oh, good lord, what have I got stuck in my fur this time? I can always understand a dog's avoiding being brushed because I go, yep, I know, I feel your pain too. I feel your pain. That's good. I've got someone who has informers. Right then, I need to start building this navy up. I really do. I need to get it up to a dry dock level. And so what's that's currently researching? That's currently researching that explosive shells, which are not bad. They are useful. They will give me 12-pounder howitzer foot artillery, 4-inch mortars, and horse artillery and bomb catches. Always lovely. But yeah, I think I want you to do flintlock cannon, because that enhances national prestige. And then I need to upgrade my admiralty. So that's the first thing I need to do. I've got the facilities. Next time I have money, I need to do it. Yeah, it's one of those random things in terms of getting chocolate, because yeah, I'm not particularly pleased with what I had to do, but and injuring myself again. But it seems to have been, how do I put this? Not disappointing to the family. Now, with all those trading ships there, do I fancy a quick raid in order to make some money? Hang on, I'm at war with Spanish. What Spanish fleet is that? Oh, that's a big treasure fleet. Oh, good lord, that's a treasure fleet and a half. That's not a fleet I want to really come across at the moment. I need to do these ships up before I take them anywhere near that kind of fleet. But in good news, I'm at war with Spain, and I can take, and that's got a trading port. And I'm at war with pirates, and I'm at war with the French, and I'm at war with the pirates again. So all those islands could be mine very quickly, if I want them to be. And if I want them to be, what do you know? I have a base, and if I remember correctly, yeah, I already have some troops here, and I have artillery and infantry, so I think I need some more artillery, and then I'll start building up some infantry there, but I'll put in a few of those because I want to hold this area, and then I will send them off places. That is the cunning plan. Basically do what I did up here. Now, see, usually by this point I've already invaded India, but I've been concentrating on North America this time around. Now, the reason I tend to invade India is because, again, if we go down, if you get control of, well, actually, I tend to invade Ceylon first. I know they're Dutch, I know they're technically allies, but I tend to ignore the alliance and just take it off them. Because once you have that, then of course you get the spice trade from Southeast Asia, which is very lucrative. The Madagascar trade is less so, but is doable. If I can get the South America trade going, though, no one else appears to be down here. So that could well be by next hunt. I'm sure I've got some trading ships somewhere I can send down there. There are some trading ships in this force. Didn't I send some trading ships down here last time? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I thought I did. Ah well. Not going to do anything much this time. Just going to save my money, because hopefully I have enough to buy a new Admiralty. So I can start pumping out some third rates. Sorry, that they make sense in this game, like they do at every point. They are a very good price point. If you have the third rates, you will have enough troops to do what you need to do, and enough ships to do what you need to do. To rebuild that whole army is going to be expensive. I probably need it if I'm going to deal with the rest of the annoying people. I should probably put some troops in there. And just do a little bit of upgrade, of repair and replenishment up here. So how's everyone's weeks been? What have you been up to? Most people know what I've been doing in my week because it's, well, I've been talking about it a bit. But, you know, some good videos come out this week, I hope. I hope people have enjoyed them. Next week should be some good videos. It's close blockade time, which is currently what the US Navy is doing to my port here. Not for very long, because at a certain point I am going to go and de-close blockade it. Alright then. I will take some of you. And I use another 500 of you to upgrade these guys. You like the deep dive stuff? I enjoy the deep dive stuff. It allows me to, how do I put this, really, well, there is an advantage for a uni lecturer in when you start doing videos online, in that you don't have to worry so much about the module guide and the course curriculum and things like that. You can just go, this is what I feel like doing, this is what I want to do, and as to sort of follow your interests a bit, which is always fun. It's always fun to be able to sort of follow your interests and go, I'd like going into this. As long as you can make a sort of coherent argument, so you make a decent video. That's sort of the criteria. It's nice. Next week's going to be cool, because next week, of course, is close blockade. And if I remember correctly, he says, going quickly to his list, which is kept everywhere, it's the Queen Elizabeth class battleships, which is going to be a very deep dive. Basically, that whole thing is a deep dive into why these ships were built, who was building them, and what their reasoning behind them was, and why they came out the way they did, rather than the way they could. And there are some interesting things, like, there's a half-decent chance And when I say this, I mean it's a half-decent chance. They could have ended up with 12 15-inch guns and been 28-knot ships. And at that point, you have to consider how that would have changed the world, because if that's your standard of super dreadnought in 1913 to an order 1914-15, that's what's becoming, and that's going to have a knock-on impact for everything else, because they're going to displace more than they did historically. It also leads to a Hood which has 12 15-inch guns. It's just, the whole thing is just a case of, ouch, this can be painful for people. Very boring part of this gameplay is rebuilding armies, but you need to rebuild them occasionally. I need to start building up a navy down here so I can take out the Spanish and the French who are blockading me and making lots and lots of money. Again, in reality, I would be doing both and just going, dang the expenses. But in this game, you can't run into debt. Which is sort of annoying. It's the one thing which is very different from the historical accuracy.
Place of learning and culture.
Now, where should I take you, gentlemen? I think in the nicest way, Boston is the closest thing USA has to an actual capital city which allows them to do things like develop their army, and therefore I can't let that be. I'm sorry, America. I'm not normally cruel to you, but on this occasion I sort of have to be, because you're sort of my biggest threat to my conquests in North America. So yeah, sorry. And you have lots of agents all over the place. Ooh. It's kind of... Talking about the Queen Elizabeth class is always an interesting one, because they had so many options for what they could be. There's even really a sort of chance that they could have had 16.5-inch guns rather than 15-inch guns at one point. Which would have been a really massive leap, because whilst 15-inch guns are a massive leap over the regular dreadnoughts, they're not really a massive leap over other ships as a whole at the time. In fact, it's not nearly sort of, you know, if you consider the British have 13.5 inch, it's just a jump of 1.5 inch over the existing super dreadnoughts, which is what the Orions were called. With their 13.5-inch guns, they were called super dreadnoughts. And so technically the Queen Elizabeths aren't super dreadnoughts, technically they're super duper dreadnoughts, but you know, life happens. But the thing is, they were just such a big jump over what was being talked about by others, is what the thing is, at the time. But also, you have to consider, they're a jump, but they're a very measured and very conservative jump. It's kind of like someone's going to talk out, and that's one of the problems of Queen Elizabeth, especially with the limitation that it can become 16-inch guns of the treaties. They become this sort of, the 15-inch gun keeps them very much viable, and so they seem almost bigger than they actually are. When in reality, they're a big jump for their time, but they're not as big a jump as they could have been. You know, small tube boilers, which are certainly what Jellicoe, etc. wanted to fit in them, but he was told weren't viable at the time, weren't available at the time, would have definitely given the 28 knot speed. And as I said, there were triple turrets around, they could have fitted triple 15-inch. There's even a There is even a sort of outside scenario where you could follow where 16.5, if they'd done a true jump into the dark, they could have probably gotten the 16.5-inch guns. They could have scaled up to them. 16.5-inch 42s. And they would have had those, and they could have had triple turrets of those, and so they could have had 12 16.5-inch guns, which, if they'd worked as well as the 15-inch guns did in terms of accuracy at Jutland, would probably have resulted in a large number of German ships sinking. Also, I'm going to ask about the audio levels, because I did some tests earlier and I tried to get it right, but it's very difficult hearing it on the recording versus hearing it live. Is the mic fighting with the background music of the game to come through, or are you straining to hear me, or am I coming through quite clearly? Workers are rioting in Ireland. Dang. Let's go see why they're rioting. You go over there. You there. That should give me enough troops to deal with that one scenario. Let's see. Let's go have a look at the government. Their policies are terrible. Taxes are being auto-managed by you, ministers, trade. I'm barely trading with anyone. Why am I barely trading with anyone? Diplomatic relations. I'm not at war with hardly anyone. I'm gonna have to bribe you, aren't I? Okay, let's give you improved greys and that, and see what you take. Thank you. Trade agreement is fine. Sorry, America, I'm gonna take it off you. Spain. Did I just give them Scotland? Well, I can reverse that, or I can just take it back. Yeah. Sorry.
You're humble, sir.
Gentlemen up there. This is why you should never click things quickly, shouldn't you? Ah, well. Life happens. And I'm still at war with the Spanish. But I now do get to take some off Spain, and I get to plunder Scotland, which, speaking as someone who is half Scottish, it's not something I haven't done before, because let's be honest, mostly the Highlanders like to plunder the Lowlanders more than they like to plunder anyone else. That's good. I'm glad the audio's okay. Hey, caramba. Right. So, we've got you, gentlemen.
More orders?
And if I take you, gentlemen, put you in the Navy. And where should I go for? Hopefully no navy there. Hopefully no navy there, because there's going to be barely any army in put under. Oh, what do you know? Their entire army is sitting there. But their entire army is artillery based.
Orders, Captain. Under sail. Ship's orders. Complete. Attack! Yes, Your Majesty.
Now, that should do. Oh, why are you saying imminent bankruptcy? What have I done this time? Yowza. 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 Lost trade with African Confederacy, lost trade with them. Let's see, how much does that cost me to maintain? Upkeep is 113, and so my expenses, I would need to cut all of those small ships. Well, that's what we're gonna have to do. Sorry, small ships, off you go. So that's that takes me down to 1,000 over. If we go to here,
Yes, my lord. Prepare for war.
I think I can take this one. If I take this one, that will probably also reduce my costs and increase my income. And next turn we'll take Scotland back, which will help the economy. I remember last time I was talking about how they're always asking for Scotland, and this time for some reason I didn't check. Have they asked for Scotland? I just clicked through thinking, oh, it's the Spanish. Surely they wouldn't ask. Why do people always ask for Scotland? I thought I was doing a besiegement of a city and taking that, but apparently it is not fortified and no one has a decent position. Okay. Fine. That should keep them from flanking me at any point. Gentlemen. I want 2 lines. I want you here. So I'm not sure where I raised that particular cavalry unit, but apparently I have got that cavalry unit. Don't know where that came from. Right then, let's see what happens. We have them down there, and they are coming to fight me. Do we have anyone else coming to fight me? No, I don't think we do. I forgot to check out this little town. I could have taken up position in this little town, I suppose. That could have been quite cute. I could have sat in town and gone, come to me. But, I don't think I needed to. Wow, the provincial cavalry are moving quickly. that is what explains what's happening. Well, you gentlemen go deal with that. Or actually, no. Go deal with that. You, go deal with that. And... back row. After you finish massacring them, melee and go and engage. Front row. Firelock arm citizenry. Killed an enemy general, that's always good to know. What the frickin'? Where are you going? And just goes well. For waiting around today, army. Fair enough. Yeah, Jacob, that does make sense for them to do go after Scott for that reason, but honestly, anyone who's the first rule of dealing with Scotland, and the most sensible thing for dealing with Scotland, if in doubt, do not try and rule them. Always let them rule themselves, because no one loves an argument as much as the Scots do. Just no one. And this is speaking as someone who's got a double dose of arguing from both sides of the family. The Scottish heritage side and the Cornish heritage side. Neither side likes to give in or under any circumstances, really. Arguments are almost things to be enjoyed. Okay, Firelock Arms Infantry. You are very brave. Have you guys run out of... You're firing at will, and I don't think you've run out of ammunition yet, have you? You're a general, you cannot run away. Honestly, I don't care if you run away. You might care if you run away. Hello, Grass. What do you think of 20th and 21st century naval history? I don't think it gets discussed enough. I think, especially when it comes to 20th naval history, it's very easy to concentrate just on the World Wars and forget that a lot of other stuff happened as well. And when it comes to 21st naval history, there is a trouble that a lot of people don't realise just how recent history can go. You know, I remember when I was starting my PhD, one of the modules I was teaching on finished with the invasion of Afghanistan. And that was considered, that was a historical naval operation at that point. And people going, but it's the invasion. And it was launched from ships as an amphibious operation. It's there. The invasion of Iraq is there because of the Al-Khor Peninsula efforts. They are part of naval history and they need to be studied as such. You can't just decide that, oh no, that's too recent or that's too, it's not, that's too recent. It's the moment something's happened, it's history. The moment it's in the past, it's history. And so you need to study it if you want to understand what's going on and where it's useful. And also, once you start studying it alongside the other historical bits, you can tend to work out which bits are useful. Right. Often it's forgotten we aren't just spectators. No. Oh, that gets forgotten. It's often... Some of the stuff people claim is frankly absurd.
Home line for battle.
And you sit there and go, I think you're talking twaddle. But, you know, it's nice of you to try. Now, I'm only 160 short now. Where can I find 160 a month? Not until I've done that. Yeah, that'll do. Do you just focus on military naval history or all sorts of naval history? I tend to wander around about everything, really. My primary focus when I'm writing and doing research is on the fighting side of the sea, but you can't do the fighting side of the sea without doing the rest. It all factors into it. In fact, if you don't do the rest, you probably will misunderstand fundamentally the fighting side of the sea, because often a lot of the fighting side is over the non-fighting side. So, for example, there is no point studying naval warfare without understanding the flow of economics, and that's one of the reasons this week I'm doing a video on close blockade, and I've done a video on Girder course, etc. this year as part of the Year of Technology, because the economic side is just as important. And you don't tend to get the navies without the society and the political, the social and cultural and political things lining up to support a navy. You know, Britain is quite a rarity in that it focuses so much on the naval force. What do I think of contemporary maritime trade? I think I wish we paid it more attention. It tends to get forgotten until something goes wrong. Because these days, most people when they're travelling around the world, they get on a plane, they go to an airport, they fly over the sea, they don't... Whereas if you consider it used to be quite a lot of the movement of people. Oh yeah, I will stick in the rain, because the rain is going to make firing cannon absolutely a nightmare. Because it used to make it very difficult for people to, you know, when they were travelling, they used to travel with the ships. You know, and they used to not only travel with the ships, they used to travel with the goods. So you think about it, it used to be a scenario that when you went somewhere, you were travelling often on a tramper, not on a liner. Even liners carried cargo, and trampers especially were mostly cargo vessels. And that is what they would focus on. And so you would get used to the idea of being part of the goods, of the flow of maritime trade. Whereas today, when you travel, anything that is on a plane tends to go in the hold, which means you don't see it, you're just there with other passengers. So you get this idea of moving from place to place being relatively easy and relatively straightforward and relatively quick. Whereas the actual reality of goods and movement around the world is it goes very, very slowly. Yeah, the moment there's an accident in the news, then you hear all about it. Oh, native bowman. They managed to... This is what I never understood about this game, is even on this setting, which is not its easiest setting, the troops sometimes position themselves in absolutely terrible ways. And you sit there now going, I am literally lining up to fire straight down your line. Wheel! What got me interested in history? Oh, learning about my family stories and some very good history teachers. Learning about my family history, especially, you know, from my grandfather and from my father to an extent. And I became a naval historian in many ways because I like studying stuff which brings lots of different things together. And the joy about naval history is you can't really sit neatly in any silo. And that's why I like to study it, because you cannot sit neatly in a silo. You have to actually go and study quite a lot of things. You can't sit there and go, I just want to study this bit. There is no real area of history which is like that. There are some people who theorize certain areas of history are like that, but they're really not. But it's a case of naval history. I suppose it also starts with sort of the engineering focus of my family. Well, Graz, let's be honest, we still to this day, how do I put this politely, chuck a bottle of champagne on a ship's bow when we're launching it, or wine. And we tend to have a lot of superstitions involved because, let's be honest, when you're dealing with the sea, no one turns down any potential advantage. If that advantage is morale, or if that advantage is actual good luck, no one turns down the extra advantages. So, you know, it doesn't matter. It may work, it may not. We're still gonna take it where we can get it. Anything which gives you an advantage when you're dealing with something as powerful as sea is going to be appreciated. Spanish colonial line infantry, they're always so blooming tough. I've never experienced the supernatural, but what can I say? I like to believe there's a heaven because, well, to be honest, I like to believe there's a lot of people who no longer with us who are still happy somewhere, if you know what I mean. Would you mind? What are you running from? Okay, pretty much everything of the Spanish is in flight, and I've got one of my infantry regiments is running away, and I have no idea why. What are you guys running from? They're all running away from you. Yeah. Yes. I've seen something similar as well, Jacob. It's a case of if you don't. There's no point in sort of risking these things. It's one of those things of history which often annoys people when you work it out, but so much of history comes down to luck. We consider Jutland. If the Royal Navy had been going a little slower, or the Germans a little faster, there would have been a night battle. Somali pirates. Well, actually no, I did a whole load of things about Somali pirates. When the Somali pirates were really in the news, I did a lot about them. I found myself chatting a lot about them because of my work with CIMSEC, Centre for International Maritime Security. And honestly, I said, well, you can understand their reasoning behind what have started the piracy, because it was based on the fact that these were fishermen who their fishing grounds were getting overfished by people from outside, and there was nothing really to protect them. So it starts off with a anti-outsider fishing movement, and it turns into, it's taken advantage of by gangs and other things and other groups, and it turns into this international piracy argument, which then leads to a scenario you have where you have basically an intervention going on, but they're always very lightly armed. They're kind of like traditional pirates. The idea of pirates being these big, massive ships which had lots and lots of firepower, etc., is something which is in Hollywood movies. Pirates were normally quite underarmed, more than overarmed, and often avoided warships for that specific reason.
Forward!
Because many warships, despite them theoretically being smaller, etc., would be more homogeneously supplied and would tend to have better guns and better facilities.
Prepare for battle!
All they've got is 2 of those. It's so tempting to just do an auto-resolve, because honestly, this will be seconds. But saying that, they are the pirates were still quite scary, because we had lulled ourselves into the secure idea that there were no risks. There was no chance of something like that happening, so you had no protections, no security. And think about that. It was one of the really interesting things I was thinking. We could live through a time where ships at sea were sailing around the world, and their ladders and things up their sides were completely unsecured. And you sit there and go, that's just amazing, but that's also, what kind of hubris were we in? Alright. Firelock armed citizenry. Yeah, these people are running into cannon fire. That's... Again, if I was commanding this force, I wouldn't have much chance of victory, but I would probably be hiding myself and doing some sort of guerrilla campaign. I don't think I would be waiting there in line for what is about to come my way. I could stop and fire, but this is... you guys do not have bayonets. It's just not fair. You also sit there and look at some of the ships which needed security. You really wouldn't have thought they would have needed security. You'd have thought they'd have had it on there. For example, if I have a huge cruise liner with thousands of people aboard, I would presume I would have something in the way of a security detachment. A security department. And they sort of had turned out something, but it was very, very lackluster, and they needed a lot more people. And you think of what's happened in the past with cruise liners when they've been hijacked. Yeah, no. You need some people aboard who can deal with the things. Having security was legal on merchant ships by law of many flags. So there is a difference between having security. No, that you are not allowed necessarily to have armed people, i.e. people with guns aboard. There is a difference between having armed people aboard and having security aboard. But please note, I personally don't see the problem with them having some small arms, etc., light arms aboard. But the point is, you should, having the security doesn't depend on you having guns. If we consider in terms of the UK, our police don't routinely carry guns. And you can have a security which will sort of do its job without necessarily having guns. They could have batons, but it's more about having people whose job is to look around. Most of the things you can do with dealing with piracy is just having someone who's security conscious and aware, going around checking things and going, yeah, that ladder shouldn't be down, those doors need to be locked, because the ships are all quite so large in relation to the pirates, etc., that them getting up on them is quite difficult. Yes, they do have options for trying to chuck things up to try and get up, and ropes, etc. But if you've got a security team going around watching for those sort of things, you can usually deal that long before something comes up. But Alex, that would require paying people. You are talking about merchant companies. What about the profit? Yeah, I know. Seriously, you sometimes listen to some of these companies talking about how they can't afford these people, and you go, you are running something which has 40-odd thousand TEUs on, and you are claiming you're making no money. Well, if you're making no money, why hasn't your company gone bankrupt? And why have you been reporting profits to your shareholders? So surely in the nicest way, if you took some of those profits and invested in slightly better security, and really the point is, it's going to be in the end, they would only have the security teams on, and they only did have the security teams on because the insurance companies made them. Because the insurance companies said, if you don't have security or something aboard, we will not be paying out on your premiums because we've adjusted it. Hello, Garrus. I'm hoping that everything is working properly in the chat. Oh. I have taken over Caraco. And for those who were here last week, I have taken Quebec, but I have also managed to bankrupt myself and apparently give Spain Scotland. So I'm just about to take Scotland back. I could demand their surrender. Yes, that made life easier. Demanding surrender was fine. Oh, hello, King's Rook. Hello, Patrick. Oh, good lord. There's catty emojis. Napoleon emojis have arrived. Hello. And as I said, I'm hoping it's working. I have been playing around the systems, and I'm hoping it's working. So if the chat's not working, someone please message me on something else and tell me the chat's not working. Oh, caramba. Ministers, taxes are auto-managed. Why is Ireland not paying taxes?
Your Majesty. Forwards! March!
I don't like Ireland not paying taxes. Ireland needs to pay taxes to support my war efforts. You gentlemen need to go... Well, you're going to go back to London shortly, but London's okay at the moment. I have troops there. I have troops there to protect that. I need some troops to go there to protect that. And I will need to recruit some troops up here, won't I? Should be okay. The minions of Garrus the Brit's Liege and Napoleon the Cat have arrived. I'm glad they have. And I'm glad, I said, I hope everything's working properly. It's always a case of me going, hopefully it is. Hopefully. Now, in good news, and I will be, I've found this out now. I have, because of Garrus, I have changed over to OBS as the system which I'm using for broadcasting Twitch, And in good news, I have found it works not only with Empire Total War, but with Rome Total War. Which is good, because XSplit for some reason didn't like Rome Total War and wouldn't work with it. So, when we eventually have finished this game, and this game finishes when I've conquered the entire world, or at least the British Empire, when this sort of game finishes, I will then probably move on to Rome Total War and conquering the entire Roman world. Probably as a Scipii, because it's always fun to conquer the world as a Scipii. Hello, Synth22. And a hello, Zonahedron. Zonahedron, hello. I so want to call you Zono for some reason, but it's Zonahedron. How are you all doing? Are you having a nice time? Rome 2 for the win. Means I can buy Sextus Pompey and avenge my father's name. I'm playing Rome 1. Rome 2 may be in time, but, you know, I like Rome 1. Blood pressure's taken. That's useful to know. I needed my blood pressure taken. Oh... Oh, no. Now, I have been thinking that at some point I do have to challenge my naval history colleagues to a game of Rome Total War. Because I might actually win against them in it. Might. You know. I know how good Garius is at playing games, and I do realise that both Dan and Drac have some skills. But I think in Rome I can win. I think in Rome I can win. I understand my legionnaires. They were my main hobby when I was how do I put this, going through my GCSEs. So yes, it is. These games are the reason I do these games on a Sunday afternoon is because they are kind of me reliving my youth, but in a nice, relaxing way. And yeah, we were having a chat about modern naval history before Garrus's team showed up. We were talking about pirates and the fact that most of the reasons we had issues with piracy was the how do I put this? People not being willing to spend some money, which is hardly unsurprising. Right then. Where am I going to get some money from? Because I need to get some money from in this somewhere else. I need to start actually getting some negotiated pieces going on. Either that, or I need to start conquering more places. Which one has larger army? Oh, good lord, they've got a semi-professional army. Okay, right then, sorry, if I have to pick between which army I'm going to go fight, it's going to be your semi-professional one, because I don't want that army growing. I'm sorry, America, again, I have great feelings for you, you are lovely people, but I do not like the idea of you having a professional army, because that's actually how you won the War of Independence.
Siege them!
So the moment I start to see those line infantry turn up, America, I'm coming for you. I'm glad they do, Jacob. I'm glad they do spend money nowadays, because I don't like the thought of thinking people going on ships where they don't have such security. Yeah, I actually... One of our history colleagues for me and Garius, Kate Jameson, used to work in that field. I don't know. I don't think she still does. I think she now works in another area of maritime, but she's worked in that field a lot over the years, arranging security to get onto ships, etc. And she's very good at it and very smart. But the amount of stupid things some companies try and put on her. Jacob, by the way, what do you think of Maersk straight up hiring a Danish frigate to help them out on the Nigerian coast with the pirate problem? At least that's how the rumors go. Maersk certainly have a very close relationship with the Danish and the Dutch governments. And I'm fairly certain if they made the case, they could probably be persuaded, they could probably assist. And also, let's be honest, Danish frigates are some of the best frigates out there. The Overhoodfelts are pretty darn capable. And making sure you have... I'm fairly sure it was part of the whole wider deployment, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was an encouragement because they wanted one of the better, more capable frigates, more capable forces to be providing the ships. Because there's always a... When you're dealing with United Nations or even European Union deployments, there's always a thing of, okay, which navy's cheapest to send, rather than necessarily which navy's the best to send. First time chat, Arthur Fisher. Hello, Arthur Fisher. I think most people don't like the idea of America having a professional army, at least all Americans. I don't know. It depends. The students I tend to teach in war slates, when I teach American students, tend to be quite proud of their armed forces and how capable they are and how professional they are. They're not always proud of how the politicians use their armed forces, but they're quite proud of the armed forces. And I think that's the distinction I tend to draw the line of. It's a case of they tend to be quite proud of the armed forces themselves and of their bravery, but it's not so proud of how the politicians use them. And I can understand that, because sometimes one of the things I often find strange is you can have perfectly good, legitimate reasons for doing something, but the politicians don't want to use that reason because they don't feel it's catchy enough or it's going to get enough wider support. So they go for something which is actually not really a legitimate reason. Should put you then, because you'll just fire into their backs if I leave you there. Whereas if I stick you up here, then if anyone tries to approach them in the lead, you can muller them. Right then, and then infantry into 2 lines. It's, you know, it's one of those things. I used the Overhoodfelts as an answer to your question at the end of the video last week about ship design. They are well-designed ships. But you have to remember, the Danish do have this advantage of having invested in Stanflex. And they've invested heavily in it. And it's one of the reasons why people tend to go, oh, Danish frigates, they're just so cheap. Why aren't ours as cheap as theirs? And you go, because in the nicest way they are really accounting, the accountancy for them is incredibly different than the accountancy we actually that we normally apply to warship design. Because the Danish just go, well, we're buying weapons as a continual thing, we're maintaining weapons and systems as a continual thing, it doesn't matter what ships are in service, we use the Stanflex system. There was no international thing for the Nigerian piracy because politics. There was some international. There was a desire to support. It wasn't an official international thing, but there was international support for the Nigerian government, and it was felt there needed to be some proper support for them. Anti-piracy deployments off West Africa sounds like a job for the King's Class. The RCN has a permanent operation for anti-piracy. We got a name now. Yeah, lots of navies do these days have permanent forces for it. Literally, that's just some artillery up there on the hill. I didn't expect you to push your forces all out there in that row. It's nice of you to do that, but... Ooh, look! They've got their guns behind the mega positions. Cute. And they've got those which will kill their own cavalry, not just mine. Look, look! Their own cavalry run into them and kill themselves. Look! It's actually absurd. Either Hoodfelts are an answer to many questions, they really are, but honestly the whole Danish approach to how... Oh, it's snowing! How they maintain a navy and how they keep things working is a really good system. They really have thought it through. By the way, what I should say is, I know they only allow videos to be up on Twitch for a week. What I do is, I've written them down and put them on my YouTube channel. So if you want to go see what I did the previous week, etc., and you haven't seen it, or ever that comes up as a thing, they will always be, after a week, they'll go live on my YouTube channel on the Monday. So it'll always be last week, the previous, sort of, how to put it? It'll be the week in arrears. One will go live on the Monday. So the one from not a Sunday ago, but 2 Sundays ago. So that's their militia infantry. Oh, they've lined them out. The militia in the middle. No. They're line infantry as well. The 4th Regiment. Okay. I've got Hessians. I'm not too bothered. Done. Load canister. Load canister. You limber up. Prepare to move. Limbered. Good. You were a good artillery battery, but you were an even better lure on that flank. What's going to be happening? Operation Projection. Yeah. Well, lots of navies have kind of piracy ops going on at this point. You guys goes down. You guys goes down. Go steal them. You go steal them. You go steal them. You actually, I'm going to send you down. You I'm going to send to do that. You I'm going to send to do that. You go deal that. You deal that. And you keep on... You move forward to here to support those two positions. General to here, please. No. That's just what you don't do with cavalry, by the way. Run them in a single line in front of the infantry. It's a good way to get your cavalry killed, and it's also a good way for these guys to get themselves killed. Go take them out. Now, that's not really what you want to do. Have your troops turn up one after the other in a kind of a straggle, but sometimes you can just about get away with it. Okay, your position's about to be swarmed by infantry, and I know how valuable artillery is to the rebellion. So, in real life, I'm fairly sure you'd all be moving away, because the people only thing more valuable than your guns are you. Yes, you, Mr. Artillery Officer. You have to be really well trained to be actually any good at your job and worthwhile it. So standing and holding a position when everything around your army is routing is not something you would do sensibly. And I seem to have won it. Revenge on the colonials. Yes, well, you know, I'm retaking British colonies. Mainly because, yeah, I thought I should. I thought it was an easy way to start off this game. Now, let's see. Diplomacy. Would you like peace? I am winning. This is what I do not understand it. You want me to... No. I don't want to give you a Huron territory, and I don't want to give you that. I just want a peace treaty. No, you're not getting Huron territory. You're just not. Fancy peace, Prussia? You and I used to be allies. I've got flintlock cannon. Why do they all want Huron territory? I can understand the Americans, and well, I can understand the Prussians more than the Americans. Why? Huron territory is just not a good place to set yourselves up in. Furs. Well, yes, but I have the furs. The furs. Pretty much all the furs already owned by me. Not making me as much as I'd like it to be making me at the moment. But the Americans are now trapped behind Iroquois. Diplomacy, Maya nations, Iroquois. Investment. Technology. Let's offer them some technology. Let's offer them carbines. And seasoning? Let's offer them the full naval I'm always happy to offer nations who never build navies all naval technology. It's really helpful to me. Savoy is hostile. Persia is indifferent. Well, let's see if we can make Persia less than indifferent. Let's give them some ring bayonets. We'll accept that. We'll accept that. It's a trade deal, and frankly, I need as many of those as I can get. Because I have a very good Minister for Justice, but apparently I have an absolutely terrible... Oh, good God. Iron Hand... Controller... Good Navy Minister, good art... Oh, I need to get... Oh... Oh, well, that's better. That's improved things a tad. Yeah. That's made things slightly better. That is half the thing this game, trying to figure out where you should put your ministers. Is the blockade not intervening with your trade? Maybe the... Yeah, well, the thing is, the blockade... The French are only blockading one port out of 4 ports in my home territory. So that's affecting things, but not things majorly. As you can see, that trade route is going on quite happily. And whilst, yes, the Americans are blockading here... That's the sort of force blockading which, honestly, I could do something about. I could. I could do something about them now. I could leave this army here while it's rearming. Put you there. Navy, come with me. We're going to go and have a talk with the American Navy. Where should we? Which one shall we have a talk with first? Which one? Which part of the American Navy first? That's where your 6 rates and other things lie. So that's what we'll go have a chat with them first. We will. We will go have a chat with the actual proper American fleet first before we have a chat with the rest of the fleet. Speaking of fleets, there are currently a couple of very high-speed moving furballs outside my door. So you might see some. You might see a furry, one of my furry type of research assistant shortly. Port blockaded. Ah, pirates. Annoying, but not too problematic. And bankrupt again? How did I go bankrupt this time? Oh, I have to say that the French blockade here is just absurd. But as you can see, they're not blockading here, or here, or any of the other sort of areas, which are far more crucial in some regards. But we'll go deal with these people, these trades anyway. Yeah. I've got him there. I need... Probably can get rid of some of you. Don't need those anymore. Have you met Ted? If I remember correctly.
More orders?
Go up to there. And they're all rebuilt up in troop numbers. That's useful because I can then take them to there. And you guys are not rebuilt in troop numbers, but yes, that'll do. Rogers Rangers, they're all good, fairly decent. Hessians, I might end up needing to actually recruit some new Hessians. But, in good news, I could soon have enough troops marshalled over here in Boston to go for Falmouth in Maine. And if I take Falmouth and then I take Fort Nashwick, or Nashwack, in Acadia, then America is down to just 2. And I actually have an army over here, don't I? Yes, I do. I have an army down here, and I haven't been doing anything with you. That is terrible. I apologise. I forgot about you. It happens. I have too many armies wandering around, and I forget about you guys. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm going to make sure you're well used now, okay? I don't think I need more than 4 infantry to go and do what I think I'm going to do in Louisiana. This is the trouble. This is the trouble with there being a week apart between actually the sessions of the game, because I forgot where I'm going to have to start keeping notes of where I had all the armies at the end of the game. Oh, good lord! I'm going to need to have notes. I need to have notes. Where are my armies? Where do I have them all? Why am I spending so much money on soldiers? Oh yes, I have that army there, that army there, and I haven't been doing anything with them. Oh, good lord. Let's go through here and... Thank you. That should deal with that one. Again, why is Scotland not paying taxes? I realise trying to get money out of Scots is like trying to get blood out of the stone. But, in the nicest way, we pay our taxes eventually. You better make sure you dot the I's, cross the T's, and are exactly sure what we're supposed to pay you, but we do pay them. It's almost a point of pride how little we can sometimes pay, but, you know, we'll leave that to one side. Yep, you come in. So, I've had a little one pop in. I wondered what the scratching was on my door. Hello. Ah! Oh. Hello. We have been taken over by a corgi. I feel like why is Scotland not paying taxes? Is the primary driver of Scottish history. Yeah, potentially there is quite an accuracy in that statement. As a rule, paying taxes is something that Scottish feel we should do, but only if you justify it. Oh, you want to go up now? You've come in, you've said hello, you've made your point. You now want to charge out the door. Okay? And now we're taken over by the other one. Sorry, it's a bit like a railway station sometimes. Fluffy research assistants deciding where they want to be. This one was in next door, my sister's office, and so Zebedee decided to come to my office. And then, well, Zebedee decided this one came out of my sister's office, and so Zebedee has gone to my sister's office, and this one has come to my office. Let's attack. Let's have a nice naval battle. They are more than likely collecting taxes at both places. In fact, as a rule, I'm fairly certain they are collecting taxes at both places. Now, this is a very nice little ship. This is the vessel I captured from the Dutch earlier, so I'd like to keep this one. It's a race-built galleon. That looks nice. I'm not sure. There is the part of me which is the purist, which doesn't like the fact that they picked red uniforms for the Royal Navy. It is a case of, not sure, but you know. So they've got the race-built galleon at the front, that's fine. I'm sure, as I said. Hello. Hello. Yeah, you just want to take over. You feel you're in charge. Okay, well, I've got to send the fleet into battle for you to actually be in charge of the fleet. You want to tell me how to fight? You will. First of all, I need to give you a biscuit for you to tell me how to fight. Okay. The Americans are in a line. Well, it's quite sensible for the Americans to be in a line, but how are they going to position themselves? Because the wind is coming from this angle, so... I'm keeping them as close to the line as possible. And you do that. Hello. Let's see, the American fleet. You see, they get fairly historically accurate uniforms. Just because they decided the British will be red, because that's the army's colours. Should have given the British blue and just told the army they were going to have to deal with being blue. That's terrible. The enemy admiral's... How did I kill the enemy admiral that quickly? Okay, alright. You're not supposed to basically sit there while I do this, do you realise? Admittedly, that would have been better if you'd held your cannon fire till you were passing right through, but yeah. I'll take it. I haven't got you on fire at will. I've got you on fire at will because you're all doing different angle positions. Yeah. Basically, you should not really be able to do this, and in real life you certainly couldn't do it quite this evilly, but yeah. You can get away with it in this game. I think that one's blown up. Was surrendering or has been destroyed, and there are only 3 remaining American ships. So it's kind of like how my battle went in the first video. This is why it triggers me that you leave them on fire at will. I know! I'm leaving them on fire at will because of the maneuvering I'm doing. I'm trying to do fancy maneuvering with them instead of fancy fire control. You're the fastest, so I'm going to break you off from this group. And... okay, you're not the type to go boarding ship. You are. Go board that ship now. We're basically doing a death spiral. You go and blast him. The rest of you... let's see. Break up. And I think I've got you. Go deal that one. And you. Deal that one. And I'm just going to keep the big boys coming around and beating the bazillas out of you. Tug you off fire at will because there's just about enough of you left that I can just do some nasty things to you. What are you doing exactly? Just do that. And now you see you can fire at him if you want to. Which would be good, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. There were a couple, but I think you're meaning their admiral, who was fairly decent. The gentleman who commanded the turtle ships, and now his name escapes me. It's always helpful when they're that. Because otherwise I will be completely annoyed if I don't remember it correctly soon. Hello. Oh, you really do want a biscuit. Okay, you feel I've won the battle because of you, so therefore you deserve a biscuit. You're also getting involved in this, and you're going to be going out and going and helping and sitting there. And you are going out and are going to go and plaster that with that kind of shot. And the remaining 3 of you, 2 in between them. There is no other American vessel still alive, is there? No, just you, and you'll be taken out shortly. Surrendering. You're still fighting. This is definitely a vicious... Oh, good lord, look at the damage they've done to each other. Frigate battle. Absolutely. And good artistic on those things. You can see where it's blasted out planks on the far side, but honestly, a vessel which has got that much hull damage would not be realistically doing that well in the floating. I tend to call him an admiral because he seems to have approached things with mostly with a very much a maritime perspective on things. And that probably made sense in Korea in that period, because if you consider infrastructure-wise, moving things by river and sea was probably quite most sensible. And what do you think of space battles or space maritime stuff? I think if you want to look at good space battles and read about good space battles, then you need to look up Glyn Stewart. And especially his Peacekeepers of Seoul series, but also his Carrier Avalon series. I would really like you in my navy, but I'm going to take the prize money. I'm going to take the prize money because I can use the prize money for things like that. And like fixing up points of contention.
Orders.
And then you guys can go in there, and I can quickly repair some of you before I go off and deal with you in a bit. Oh, the French have a massive navy sitting... Oh, no, it's really not a massive navy. That was almost getting me in, almost getting me interested. You two go off down there, and hopefully we don't have to worry about... Scotland's still not paying tax? I'm not sure which of you is actually running his tax policy, but it's probably my family. Stop it. I need the money. Can't have you, the Scots, keep reneging on paying their taxes.
Commence siege.
You know, it was an army I was forgetting. Well, this will be an interesting assault. 2 units of French firelock armed citizenry versus 4 units of colonial line infantry. No, they are actually professional line infantry from Europe. Ah, cute. This is not going to be fun for them. Let's see. So, you're going to fire at him. You're going to fire at him. You are going into melee mode to go and attack him. you are going into melee mode to go and attack him. And yeah, so you were all very brave, very, very brave Frenchmen. I really do like the Mecha Chiefs. I think really I should speak to you as you're about to die in a very, very painful way, because you do realise there's 120 of you and there's 480 of them. And whilst I'm sure you are valiant weekend warriors, none of you have those things called bayonets, and all of you have some very interesting weapons. So, have you made your last confession? Because I think you probably should have done. In fact, do you want me to go get the priest for you all now? Sorry, I'm being rather rude and cruel, but, you know. It's one of those things. This game has this, and they're very brave. But honestly, if it would seem rather pointless. They actually think they're winning slightly. They are, in contrast, they are running away. You run after these ones that you're supposed to be running after anyway. Yep. Battle over. That was not a heroic victory. Someone has got to fix the parameters on this game and others where they call these things heroic victories and you go, no it wasn't. It was 480 professional soldiers or as close as you got in this period versus 120 people who should have probably gone and hidden somewhere. Rather than showing up to a fight. It's just not fair. It's not fair to them at all. Who was that Korean admiral? Yi! Admiral Yi. Yi Sun Sin. Because the Pueblo Nations. Who are the Pueblo Nations? They're the one off to the... Yeah, that's fine. That's being blockaded. I'm not really bothered. Upper Louisiana. What are the Pueblo Nations? That's not them. Not Plains Nations. The Pueblo Nations! Texas has declared war on me. Well, that's sort of unexpected, but also not unexpected. And why is it that the French construct so many Jesuit colleges wherever they sodding go? Excuse the French. But it's just, you know, seriously. Seriously, the last thing I need to do is keep demolishing Jesuit colleges everywhere I go because the French keep building them. Maybe I could stop taking over French places, but, you know, the French don't garrison them properly.
Sir, your orders?
Yeah, have some troops there. That's always good. Right then. Now, what should we do next?
Lord? Anything more? What? Raise the flag! Forward!
Continue siege.
Target under siege, sir. Yes, my lord.
You two go back in there.
Immediately.
Rest of you go to there.
Forward! Up!
And continue siege because it looks like I'm going to have to send some troops your way.
Forwards for crown and country!
Now, there we go. Why so many Firelock armed citizenry? So let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7 units of them. So that's 420 of their 786 soldiers are that. They've got 2 full units of artillery, whereas I've got 1 and most of the unit of artillery. They've actually got some cavalry, which is the most dangerous thing they have, and 2 units of regular infantry. And I have 6 units of regular infantry. Okay. Alpha Texas, the people that weren't in much of Texas, mostly El Paso. Yeah, but in this game, for some reason, the Pueblo people pretty much are Texas. If we go down here, you'll see what I mean. So, it's called Vildabao, Texas, and that is the Pueblo people. And so, yeah. There's also, they also have a few more places down here, and I think Santa Fe, New Mexico, is sometimes. Usually sometimes that's Spanish. It depends who's been winning the fights over that side. It is. It's who's been winning the fights, is basically it. Now, thinking more about space battles, as I said, Glyn Stewart does really, really good ones. Really, really good ones. Space Carrier Avalon and that series are probably the more visually, well, psychologically visually impressive ones. Hello, you've got a fortification. Well, this will be interesting. But I would say well, yeah, I would say myself the more intriguing ones. So the battles in terms of reading and huge battles, massive battles sort of going through your mind, that's got to be Space Carrier Avalon series. But there are others within the series which get bigger and even better, but I would say personally the intriguing battles, ones which I consider the more realistic, are the ones in the Peacekeepers of Sol series, because they are really cool battles. That was annoying. I forgot they were still selected. You guys go in here. Now, well, I can't. They're not just in a forest, they're behind walls. Which are always good places to garrison troops, by the way. Another trick in this game, if you put some troops behind a wall, it's a really good way of making sure they're safe from enemy cavalry. Because it provides them with just... See, how are those troops hiding when they're sticking out from the trees? Yet these guys, which are pretty much one with the trees, are not hidden.
Line infantry!
You come to here. So they have position to see if you guys come. And that's there. And there's an artillery position there. There's infantry moving on. They have this place well locked down, don't they? Lots and lots of personnel. They appear to have lost quite a lot of their artillery already, which is not a good scenario for them. They've got none of their horses left, so those artillery aren't moving anywhere. That's their cavalry position there. That's good. So these have tied down their cavalry. What about these guys? If they got opposite them. Firelock. Oh, they've got some foot infantry there. So they position their foot infantry. Where are the decent troops? They're there. They're Firelock armed citizenry, Firelock armed citizenry, and the next regiment of foot up there. Okay. Well, looks like I'm going to use this corner after all. Better. Better. See whether that causes any movement. Let's see if this causes any movement as well. If it doesn't, thank you very much. I'm going to actually be slightly more clever than going straight there, I think. They're moving troops. Actually seem to be moving their Firelock armed citizenry. That's always fun for them to move. They're doing okay there. Doing okay there. And then... seriously, the fact that any of you still alive is amazing to me, and also something to do with game mechanics, which is just weird. If you manage to fire... are you trying to move your artillery gun? Now running. direction. Let me say that corner. Moves that. Yeah, there's now a big hole in the wall, and the Americans are not doing anything, which is... At this point, normally you'd be moving to plug the big hole in the wall quite quickly. But what they're mainly doing is trying to secure the rest of the wall. And... yeah, they appear to be doing quite well. Balance of power. Yeah, they should have kept defending the position up in the wall when they had the chance. They then surrendered the parapet to me, and that's never a good position when you've got firelock armed citizenry versus soldiers with actual bayonet drill. Guys to do the actual bayoneting. Yes, big hole in the wall. Please come stand beneath me so I can fire down on you. That's what I would like you to do. Oh, good God, they've come down the ropes. Well, thank you very much. And I've got these guys doing this, and doing all this sort of wandering around. And the American cavalry are just sort of sitting there. So it's nice to know they're sitting there. It's what you always want cavalry to do. Sit there. I'm going to bring my own cavalry here to increase my morale. I wonder if I can start moving the artillery closer. Limbra. The enemy, if the American cavalry are not going to move, I can bring you here, and perhaps I can start firing into this hole. I have no qualms about actually taking a place with artillery, and it wouldn't be the first time I'd died. Why would... yeah, I have no idea why you go down from the wall you were defending, but apparently that's what the Americans decided to do. There's actually probably now going to be a bit of a rope battle going on. The Americans are coming down the ropes, which the British were using to assault, and the British are just going to keep sitting here and taking them out. I have no idea what's going on. The American firelocked infantry are we're just going to leave there for a second because they're being a bit insane. Yeah. You've now limbered up. Come to about here. Let's see if we can... yes, that should give you morale. You'll be glad to know the Americans are now trying to retake the wall they let me have earlier. But again, they're sending firelock armed citizens to do the job. And I have great respect for the firelock armed citizens, but they are not probably going to get past the wall of bayonets. Although some of my gentlemen appear to be quite stupid in how they're using their bayonets, but we'll leave that to one side. They're just feeding troops up there. Oh, good lord, that's actually the first line of foot which are forcing their way down. Let's send them around to reinforce them. Hopefully they come around the correct way. Very good. You're fighting very hard. But, you know, you just keep losing troops up there. Where was my other... Oh, there they are. I wonder if it's possible that you guys can attack this entire thing without anyone, without the enemy cavalry actually doing anything. I have a possibility that you might be able to. Go and rally them and see if you can take them to help out. Second regiment. The Americans are feeding their crack infantry formations into this battle quite nastily. And that's just literally a fight going on at the bottom here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And let's just withdraw them.
Orders understood. Orders understood.
Run. Run. Please get them back and let's go check on the remainder of their troops fighting. I shouldn't have left you guys unattended, should I? Because Firelock Artillery actually probably can beat you guys. Possibly. What are you guys doing? Are you just walking through the gate? Is that all you guys are doing? You're climbing up that. That's fine. Okay, one of you's doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're keeping them occupied. That's good. Could sacrifice a general to support you. Tempting. Actually, no, I won't sacrifice the general to support you, because if I do, then the general might, the whole army might decide to die. So... I have now captured a gate. Now, I'm now doing the whole... I'm going to take actual buildings inside you, and you're probably going to find me start just shooting at you from here. Oh, what are you guys doing? You are actually climbing over the wall. Why are you now coming down inside? Hey. They tried to push their way inside. The Americans tried to push their way inside. Okay. Well, I suppose that makes sense. Again, please note, infantry are not supposed to be chasing cavalry off the field. Okay, there's about 140 troops in there, and you're trying to charge in and take it with 40 without who haven't got bayonets. This is cute, but the door guard appears to be holding them, and the door guard is 5 guys. You were on the floor, man, and you got up. Seriously, give that man extra ration of rum now. Oh, he's dead. Okay, so he doesn't need the extra ration of rum, but still. He deserves it. Enemy general's dead. That doesn't surprise me considering the force of his army so far. Hessians, it looks like you are gonna be the critical force. Hold that. This is a good way to sacrifice an army, I think. 5 guys, they're still holding door. Yes, they were still holding door. That was... If you're... Okay, so... Look, I have to give it for them for being plucky, but... Again, the door guard appears to be still holding them off. And the door guard is... One of the door guard is actually behind enemy lines. And he's still alive! Oh, goodness sake! Come on, man! Extra rum ration if you survive! Oh, fuck, I think he went down. I think he went down. Hang on. Who are you guys? You are just... Why are you guys standing all this way over here? Your friends are fighting over there. They have noticed. This is taking a while, yes. It's taking a while, definitely in this battle, but I don't think it will take much longer. This is probably been some of the better defended, one of the better defended positions by this game in this this time. No, don't go get yourselves killed. Come on. I'm not worried about the Americans trying to actually managing to retake that position. We have reclaimed Scotland. The question is, will in the next 40 minutes I have actually beaten up the entirety of the Americans? And you continue some force structure rebuild, force structure and reconstruction, aren't I? Letter of demands from up at Louisiana. Well, you can make the demands, but I've got 4 of them are sitting in there, and I don't think there's anything you guys can produce that was going to take them and get them out. Oh. Well, if he's only got 1. You gentlemen, march up there, take that. You, Navy. Let's repair those. If you can get Upper Canada, that'd be useful. And then now you're in Upper Canada. I need you to go reinforce. I'd prefer you to go and reinforce him, actually. Don't need anyone to reinforce that one, but if I take you from there to there, that will probably help. And you therefore go to there. Let's check the finances again. Oh, we're doing quite well financially. Let's exempt you from tax. That makes you a lot happier. Let's check. Scotland's still not paying taxes. Thank you. Hey, by gum. The Scots, anything they can do to get out of paying it. Again, please note. Family history is half Scottish, half Cornish. Neither side wishes to pay money to anyone. Pirates back again. But the thing is, they're not going to be able to blockade it for long. Workers on strike in Maine. Natural causes. That's annoying. Let's see. Anything I want to build here? Ooh. That could be useful. That could be more useful. If I build one great arsenal, then that allows me to build those troops elsewhere, which is useful. That might make the Scottish slightly less problematic. Actually investing some money in Scotland, always a sensible idea. I'm going to continue that one as a siege, because no, I'm not reinforcing him with more troops to go and do that. Seriously, where did the Americans get all these firelock armed infantry from? They do seem to get them from somewhere. Hello. Hello. Back in a second. Fluff would like to go in the garden. Come on! I love the way you ask and then you look quite disturbed that I'm actually letting you out. You happy? Yes. You're Fluffy, of course you're happy. Sorry, babe. Oh, caramba. That's why you don't put your paws right underneath me where I'm walking. Yes, because my size 11s will clobber you. Or in this case, just step on your toe a little bit. Okay. Happy, Fluff, now? Good boy. It did take a while to do that little battle. But there again, sometimes it's worthwhile. Sometimes, it's going to sound strange, but sometimes the smaller battles take longer than the big battles. Ooh, that's where their navy is. And they're still finding time. This is the thing I find strange again. I am absolutely clobbering the Americans at the moment, and they're still finding time to go and beat up the French. Good for them in beating up the French, but it's usually my job. Where shall we go? Where shall we go? Ooh. So much piracy we can do. Let's see what we can get away with.
Waiting.
Do you want to fight that battle? No, I don't want to fight that battle either. I'm not... I can possibly do a nasty thing to them, but I doubt I can win that one. So retreat and get away from there. Ooh. That's just not fair. Well, this is going to be heroic, but it's going to be a last stand. I don't know, there might be a trick I can play. There might be a trick I can play. There might be a trick I can play, eh? There might be a trick I can play. So. Let's see. What do you want, Big Fluff? What do you want? You want another biscuit. I'm gonna get another bag of these out of the garage, aren't I? Or have I got another bag down here? No. I have to go to the garage and get another bag. Sorry. What we do, because we have multiple Fluffy research assistants, and the multiple Fluffy research assistants enjoy multiple biscuits, we do withdraw. Let's see if we can get you to safety. Because if we can dodge you all, that's pretty darn good. They're chasing me, but they're nowhere near me. No, I do not think this is a scenario under which Admiral Bing would be court-martialed. I think this would be a scenario where people would be singing about my absolute amazing ability to get away from the enemy. You call it crushing defeat. As long as I've escaped with my ship intact, I do not care. I got away with my ship. That's all I wanted. Oh, fuck. Right. I have one ship out here, and it is drawing the entire attention of the entire French Navy and the entire Spanish Navy. Can I? No, they've got too many fourth rates. I can't. Oh, they've got a third rate as well. There is no way in holy hootenanny I have a chance in this battle. So, yeah, it looks like I'm going to try the same trick I did last time. Let's hope the wind's in the right direction. Oh, good. The wind is in the right direction. Sometimes you gotta fight to run away. Sometimes, yes. It's not a trick I like to play, but it works. It also, again, not a crushing defeat when your ship survives. Oh, goodness gracious. And there's more of them this time. Hard pounding, gentlemen. Let's see who pounds longest. Ah, yes. Artillery duels. Oh, great. I don't think the wind's in the right direction. Possibly it could be. Seriously, this captain is very, very skilled at getting away from the enemy. Come on, little fifth rate, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Yes! Get your main masters across the line. Yay! Home free. No, it's not a crushing defeat. When it's one versus that many and you survive, it's not a crushing defeat.
For your life! Destination ahoy!
Oh, good lord. Okay. Hello, Prussia. Let's see. Do you think we can do this match? And yeah, they have got 48 guns. So theoretically they have the same. Yeah, the Prussians have been allied to me, but they've also been as if I turn fire at will off, yes. Well, I am only coordinating one ship this time. So yes, Garius, I will turn fire at will off just for you. I think I'm gonna have a chocolate crisp. Hello. I'm allowed. They're for me, not for you. No, they're not for. They're not for fluffy puppies. Why are you doing the artistic poetry one, Nova? Of your masts and ability to move, so I can capture you all and earn some money. Now, who should I take out? No. Sail. Let's take it again closer to you. Really take out your rigging. Take you out. Please stop you being annoying. And now let's work on your friends. Ooh, of course this one. Already lost one earlier. I am basically handling myself as if I'm armed on a flute and using one side only, but that's because I'm trying to capture the ships. And all shift over to that side, because they probably aren't going to expect me to do that. And bum bum. Dang. Too close for me to get those long-range kills on your... Ooh, who's firing me from the other side? Basically, don't use trade ships to try and attack a warship. And if that warship's prepared to be slow and steady and methodical with it, it can take out pretty much all your masts, which will make it very easy for it to do nasty things to you later on. We have two ships here which have one mast in each. And if anyone thinks I'm looking weird, it's because someone has for some reason started licking my feet. Why are you licking my shoes? That should be about 3. No. I don't want to get caught up in you guys, but I want to get a clean line on him from the rear. Yes, that took down his mast. Let's see, what have we got?
The oceans are ours.
No prize money. M&S chocolate with crisps. Let's see, we have artillery, we have elite infantry, but they're melee infantry, Lancer cavalry, and no, so, okay. This is going to be interesting defense. You just smack them with a shot until the morale won't break. Yeah. I was going for the capture win. Let's see. I could position myself up here and hold it. Because this is not the scenario where I have to worry about losing that, or... Where should we position ourselves? Right in the corner.
Armed citizenry, orders. Following orders. Yes, sir. Right away. Following orders. Yes, sir.
Now let's see what they do. Our Senecanera. So far, we are waiting for these troops to come and attack us. Oh, good. They've left their artillery behind. Always sensible. Always sensible. And actually, they're using their native artillery as scouts running ahead. Okay. This could be interesting. Now, you're going to see one of the lesser uses of Firelock armed infantry, because they do actually have a use. Using them as extra fire behind your regular line infantry. Your line infantry hold the line. But yeah, it's creative thinking using artillery as scouts. I'm not sure. Oh yeah. Oh, they do have some range. They're chucking their axes. They've got axes as their ranged weapon. That's good. But you guys want to go take them? Also, I think the standing on the the berm and firing. Yeah, I myself would not be doing that. I'd be firmly behind the berm and firing. Did you just let off a... Sorry. A mild case of biological warfare is going on. We've been over it before. If you're gonna do that, you will not get to stay in my office. Hello. I suppose that's one way of firing back. Oh. If you ever tell your mother that I give in so easily for your biscuit demands, you will never get out of her, okay? So you and I keep this quiet. She keeps telling me she's supposed to be watching your weight. Well, I think you're supposed to be putting more. It is the Fluffy Research Assistant. The Assistant Fluffy Research Assistant has been out here today. And, well, you know.
File of citizenry!
Again, I'm never quite sure why cavalry units do this. Literally sit in range of troops firing and go, yeah. No, you're not getting any more. Go to sleep. That's all you're getting. Because if I was these cavalry, what I would probably do is not sit here. No.
Infantry reporting. Marching orders.
Close victory. It will do. It will do.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
It's still a victory. It might be close, but it's still a victory. Hello. They're attacking me. Well, let's see what we can do. Shall we? Let's see what we can do. They are a load of... Yeah. Ugh. Hello. Wow. I think this will be today's last battle. Will we gain it? Hello. Oof. Eesh. Wait. We happy? We now in my lap. Is that what was making it? Is going to make us happy? Right then. So, what should we do? I think position ourselves as high up as possible, so the enemy has to come up to us is probably the sensible approach, because we are defending. They have one unit of provincial cavalry, and the rest the rest. Are Firelock citizenry, so they're not really the troops you want to attack with. But there again, the Americans did use them to great effect in the last game, in the last battle. So I have to give them some credit here. They certainly have something turning up. Mm-hmm. Is my sister on the Discord? I don't think so. There are some cousins on the Discord, but I don't think my sister's on the Discord. Give them that minimum room for maneuver. Run and run. Now, let's see what we can do about your coming in. Oh, are you going to try and form up in line? Is that what you're going to do? There's your cavalry finally coming up, and the rest of your troops are around there. So if I'd stayed down here to defend against you, you'd have been coming at me from two sides. Stop keeping busy, General. I don't need you to die. Not today. The other day may have been useful if you died, but you know. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ooh. Oh, that hurts. Did you say boost them? No, they're firelock armed infantry, and frankly, this is why I wasn't that worried about this battle. And if I can, any damage I can do to these troops, the provincial cavalry, is going to be the most effective thing I can do, because that will basically take out most of their fight, because they're their professional fighting horse. Look. They didn't race far. That general and his adjutant were trying to race as fast as they could, but he didn't manage to get that far. Oh, not the pirates again. Yeah, we're not quite sure what they have in them. So, yeah, you guys, you're very nice. Go and reinforce.
Waiting for orders.
Hello, yes. I know, I heard. Really? You don't say. You haven't had enough hugs and squiggles today. Someone's been shortchanging you on the hugs and the biscuits. Do you hear what my fluffy research assistant is telling me? He's telling me that no one's been giving him any biscuits today. He's had nothing. I must be remembering it wrong. Anyway, it is now 5 o'clock, which means it's time for this fluff to go for his Sunday afternoon wander before my YouTube live. So, I'm going to leave you all. Well, we could see what this is going to be. We'll do that next time, because that's going to be an interesting battle. And I'm going to say thank you very much everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I'm going to save this all while I remember. And it's, so I don't forget, it's on the 12th. And I'm going to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you found it fun. And, yeah. Thank you from me. Thank you for the fluffy research assistant, who's going to get his wander now. And, see you all, well, hopefully see some of you later on the YouTube live, where, if a parcel has arrived, we will be finishing off HMS Belfast. If a parcel hasn't arrived, then I have such books. Well, new books have been sent to me. Quickly before I break HMS Belfast. Seawalls and the World Naval Review 2023 have all been sent to me, which I think you'll enjoy. So, hopefully we have both, but we might just have one. Thank you very much, Aaron. Take care and have a nice evening. Glad to hear it, Jacob. I'm glad you're reading one about tribals and other destroyers. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much for watching.